Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of Old and Bitter, episode number 5. Today is July 31st, 2025. As always, we're with the dynamic duo of Scott and Ricky. Scott, how you doing tonight?
Am I doing?
How are you doing tonight? How are you tonight?
I'm good. You know, we call this Old and Bitter, and we haven't griped about anything in our previous episodes, so I'm ready for tonight.
Ricky?
I'm doing great. Ready to let off some steam.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about things that annoy us, but I have to kind of dive into this one because this one really kind of set me off yesterday. I was going to this grocery store to pick up my prescription, okay? And there's like 4 or 5 pharmacists behind the counter, and they're talking, whatever, and there was an older lady, older than I was, probably in her early 80s, in front of me. Waited about 3 minutes before they called anybody. So she finally they call her, she comes up, and of course they only have one, I guess it's a lane or a register that's open. Mm-hmm. And the other 3 are still just talking. So the old lady gets up there, she has trouble with her prescription, and I'm still waiting. It's been like 5-10 minutes now. I'm still waiting, and then all of a sudden they give her her prescription, but then she sits there and talks to the pharmacist for like, and I'm not lying, this has had to be like another 12 minutes. So I basically stood in line for like 22 minutes before I could even get my prescription, and I was just like livid. And then by the time I get up there, they're like, "Hi, can I help you?" And I was just like, I just got my stuff, and I hate that. I can't stand that.
Were you polite when you got to the front of the counter?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you do like last name, I give my last name or whatever, date of birth, whatever, and the next thing you know, just like, I paid and I was out. But it's just like, that's like my biggest pet peeve, when you have to stand there in line and you got to wait and wait and wait and nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
Nothing against the old lady, but I don't even need to hear about her vacation as she's talking to the pharmacist about it.
What if she's all alone and that was the only person she talked to all day? That was her only socialization.
Well, then she needs more friends. Plain and simple, she needs more friends. I mean, wouldn't that bother you? I mean, Ricky, you're in line, and all of a sudden the lady in front of you, and it's not, "Hey, thanks you for my prescription. Oh, let me talk to you about my kids and my grandkids, and guess what kind of cake I'm going to bake for my grandson's birthday," and blah, 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 blah.
So I think all that's fine, but I think that there's a time and a place, and I think she could have easily stepped to the side to let the other customers come up and do what they need to do, walk through the line, and continue on their conversation if that's what they want to do. Actually, it's a part of customer support. It's a great thing for customer service if you forge a personal relationship with that person and form a personal connection. However, not at the expense of all the rest of your customers.
Exactly.
So that's fine, like if they want to talk about that kind of stuff, but go ahead and take care of the rest of the line. It's just part of being respectful and courteous, I think.
I think I knew I was in trouble when they said, "Hello, Esther," and she walked right up and they started talking. I was just like,
"Oh, yeah.
I'm totally in trouble. This is going to be a long afternoon for, some medication."
Well, and if there's 3 other pharmacists, are they all busy, or could another one come up and open another counter?
They were just sitting there back there talking.
I guess they're not techs. Maybe they don't do that.
Maybe not. Maybe they just do the medicine and let somebody else. But I was just like, I was so like angry. I got home. I was like, "What's the matter?" I said, "I'm not going there anymore. I'll find another place to go because this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous." So, I mean, thinking about pet peeves, that we all know what they are. There's things that annoy us. So we're going to kind of go down the avenue and find out some pet peeves that really annoy us. So, Scott, I know you got a bunch. Why don't you kick one off for us?
I'll start with the word merge, meaning in traffic, knowing how to merge. If you're coming up on an on-ramp's not for slowing down as you get to the interstate. You accelerate. If you're on the road and you see someone on the on-ramp, your job is to get over, slow down, judge your speed, whatever, let them merge in. And I'll take it a step further, construction zones. Those signs that flash and say merge now, it doesn't mean let's speed up and get around 23 other people because I got a lot more important things to do than you 23 do. I'll get to the very end of the construction zone, maybe even have to stop, put my blinker on, and then somebody will let me in.
I ran into that the other day.
Merge. That is my word. That's my first one.
Merge. It's funny. I had the same thing going up towards your house.
I love it.
And this guy just kept going, and then right at the very end, he swerved in my lane, and I had to hit my brakes. And then, of course, he stopped. He didn't merge in. And then after I drove past, he came up, but then he pulls up next to me at the light. And of course, you always kind of give the look over, like, dude, what are you doing? And he had both hands on his wheel and was just like focused completely straight because he knew he had messed up. Like, probably shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't make eye contact. I shouldn't make eye contact.
Yeah.
Don't say hello. Don't. The guy's staring at me. He's mad at me. He's mad at me. He's mad at me. I didn't merge. Merge. What about you, Ricky?
So mine's going to be a little different.
It's all good.
So the other day at work, which I said most of my pet peeves are going to be about work, which is fine. I came back to my office, and again, this is going to be different, but there were a box of cookies sitting in my chair from a vendor. I don't know how they got there. I didn't go back and look and see. I have no earthly idea how they appeared in my office. But somebody, I guess, trying to sell me some network switches or something like that, brought this box of crumble cookies, like six crumble cookies in the chair. And I'll be honest, that feels manipulative to me.
Because they're trying to buy you.
Yeah, because I work for the school, and so I work for the school, and so I feel like my job is to make sure that we're making the best decisions in the interest of the school with the money that we're given, and buying the best equipment and being the best stewards of our money that we have. So when somebody tries to use or assuage me as like personally like that, I feel it's manipulative. I do. It feels like a gift with an incentive to let me try to sell you something, rather than if we had already forged a relationship based on the merits of what you have to sell, and then you're showing customer appreciation for that. I feel like that's a different story.
But using it as the first step to forge that relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
I get that. I mean, I'd agree wholeheartedly with that because, after it's already done, hey, thanks for your business. Here's some cookies.
Yes. Yeah.
Not,
thank you.
Hey, here's some cookies. Let me know if I can help you.
Yeah, because we've worked on a project. We've overcome obstacles. We've overcome points of friction. We've worked together and collaborated. There was an effort expended there, and we forged a relationship. Here is something to appreciate the relationship that we forged, and thank you so much for making this process as easy and painless as possible. Now that, to me, is showing appreciation to that person. But because that relationship was already forged and you're not trying to do it like to try to get them to manipulate them into buying something or to spend time with you or to communicate, it feels like a gift with expectations. And I don't like it.
So did you eat the cookies?
No, I put them in the break room.
Oh, I would have eaten them.
By the way, Crumble, give us a shout out if you're interested in sponsorship here.
I did cut a sliver off of one and try it.
I'm not a fan of those cookies.
But they're like 1,500 calories a pop, man.
Yeah, it's just a giant. The guy didn't even know. What if you were dieting and he puts those cookies on your desk, not even knowing?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm working out. I'm trying to get in shape, and you're putting cookies on my desk.
Yeah. But I got told I was wrong. I got told that no, that was a kindness and that kind of thing, and I should soften my approach. And that's okay. Everyone's got their own opinions, and I respect that. But me personally, that goes against my value system.
If you agree with Ricky, send us a little email and say yes, you agree with Ricky. Ricky, what's our email again?
oldandbitterpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. So if you agree with Ricky about trying to buy his business through cookies without even doing anything, let us know. We'll send you a mug.
And there's lots of companies that do that kind of stuff too. Here, sign up for a webinar and we'll send you a Yeti cup or whatever.
Yeah.
They just want to buy your time is basically what they're trying to do. But unless I'm interested in what you actually have to sell, like based on the merits of what you have, that's what you need to sell me on. Again, don't tell me, show me, basically.
You should have called back and just say, hey, you know what? Bring some more cookies and let's sit down and we'll talk some more.
Take me out. Well, they could have got me with Chipotle. I'll just put it that way.
There you go. You know what? It's funny because one of my, and it just, similar to yours, Scout, with the merge, it's the 17-mile blinker. That stays on and on and on and on.
And they're already
you're
as far over left as they can be.
Oh
and
my
their blinkers
gosh.
saying they're going left.
Yeah.
And it's worse on the highway. Well, no, I take it back. It's worse on just the regular road. It's like, here they're going to turn on this street. Nope. They're turning up here. And then it's like you can't pass because maybe if it's a one lane and you're stuck. Or if you try, it's just like the traffic's too heavy. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves is just the dreaded 3-hour blinker. That drives me nuts. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Scotty, you got another one?
Spam phone calls, robocalls.
Oh yeah, I hate those.
There used to be a state list you could put your number in and be blocked from those or whatever. And I guess our number's gone off that. Maybe that only lasts a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But all these different phone calls, and you just go to your phone, block, whatever. But all the spam calls that just keep coming.
Do you ever have fun with those though? Because like.
Okay, I have been with John when he has had fun with those.
I love those.
Pranks
Love
and
those.
everything else. He comes up with some good ones.
Yeah, we had one at the house, and Anne's like, "Honey, do you want to answer?" And I go, "Yeah." So I pick it up, and they're like, "Hey, I'm blah 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 blah," and I'm like, and the first thing I said, "We want a TV? Oh my gosh, we want a TV! Honey, we want a TV! We're gonna win a TV!" And the guy's like, "Excuse me." I go, "Do I just give you my address and we get the TV?" And he's like, "No, we're talking about timeshares." I go, "No, I don't want it. I want the TV." And then next thing you know, gone.
I love it.
You have to because it's like
you've got to, man.
They're trying to just barge into your livelihood, and you know what? Send some back.
Ricky, that's where his early years of improv have come in handy.
Is that where it
we've
been
in
happens?
the car and a couple have come through, and he's like, "Go watch this," and he just has fun with them.
I like to invent different characters with different
Absolutely, yeah.
voices.
Oh, different
and then talk
voice,
to them about
absolutely.
the whole
He'll go
thing.
into
I do all
different
the time.
voices.
Like, I got one this morning.
He'll just start messing with them.
Yeah.
Going to work, and I'm like 8. I don't care. I'm like, "Hello," and then you hear this, "Hello, hello," and they go, "Mr. Anthony, oh, hello," and then next thing it went dead. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have the most fun I possibly can.
Yeah.
It's a part of life. You gotta laugh. You gotta
Turn it
laugh
into
every
lemonade,
day.
man. Turn those lemons into lemonade.
You gotta laugh
Yeah.
every day.
You got another one, Ricky?
Yes. Okay. So I think one is when you're having a conversation with somebody and somebody just walks up, they can obviously tell that you're having a conversation with somebody about something. Maybe you're collaborating on something with somebody. And they just interject right in the middle. So I guess when people feel entitled to your time, and
these aren't children; these are adults.
these are adults.
He's talking about me because I walked in on a meeting with him today.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, it's not you.
Okay, good. Thanks.
No, I have a specific example, but we're going to leave it extremely vague. But when people just walk up and they're like, "Hey," just up and shove whatever it is in your face, and they just want their answer now.
That's when you know what you do. You give them a crumble cookie and say, "Hey, I'm in a meeting right now. Have a crumble."
Yeah.
And then come back when you get done.
Yeah. But it happens all the time. And not just a conversation like in the office, but like in an impromptu conversation anywhere. You could be in the middle of trying to hear somebody out, and then all of a sudden somebody else walks up and they don't care that you're trying to listen to somebody and engage with somebody. Everyone, and I understand it, everyone thinks that their time is important, and it is. Mm-hmm. But because of that, we have to consider others as we would consider ourselves, and vice versa.
Good point. What about the one where you know there's something wrong with someone and you're trying to help, but they go, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine." Is that a pet peeve where it's like, you want to help them, but it's just like, they're not fine.
Yeah.
But
They're guarded. They're going through something. They're guarded.
Yeah. So does that bother you at all? Scotty, does that bother you?
I don't know that it really bothers me. It's more like when they're ready, just letting them know I'm there, maybe.
Yeah.
But everybody's got to be ready to, walk through something or share something on their own time frame. I'd hate to make someone feel more uncomfortable by forcing something out of them or something.
Yeah. Nobody can actually accept help until they're ready to receive it.
Yeah.
And so at that point, they're still dealing with their own coming to grips with whatever it is. And I guess in the grieving stage, which is probably what they're going through from what you're talking about, I would say that's denial. They're still coming to grips with the fact that it's even real and hitting them.
What if they know there's something wrong, but they still don't, how was I going to put this? I forgot what I was going to say. That's because you're old and bitter. Or just old.
Alzheimer's starting to set in already.
Good Lord. It's the worst. Here's one. What about being close to your exes?
What do you mean?
Like peeve?
Like as a friendship?
Yeah. Would that bother you? Like if your girlfriend was like still friends with her ex?
I think it really depends. I think it really depends on what kind of friendship, relationship, whatever else it was.
Right.
I mean, really and truly.
What if it was an ex? So like they dated and then like, they broke up and now they're just, it's not like they hang out, but they're still friends.
What if they dated for like a month or two and they're like, yeah, this absolutely was the wrong decision. We tried it for a month. It just absolutely wasn't us. We were better off as friends. I don't think that would be such a big deal as if, hey, we dated for like 5 years. It was a really serious thing and then I broke it off.
Yeah.
I don't go into relationships that way. That's not the way that I handle things. And I would hope that whoever I'm with is not that way either. But I can't speak for everybody, right? So
Man, can't speak for me, that's for sure. I wouldn't deal with that.
Some people think it's a sign.
there.
Some people think it's a sign of maturity to be able to be friends with your exes and not have any sort of second guessing because you're supposed to be able to trust your partner no matter what. The question is, what actions do you find trustworthy and not trustworthy in a partner? Is being friends with an ex what you would consider a trustworthy or an untrustworthy action? Is having friends of the opposite sex something that you're comfortable with? And everyone has their own boundaries in a relationship, and that's why relationships are like, for lack of a better term, snowflakes. They're unique to each individual person and each individual couple. What boundaries work for you two? Because what works for you two, like let's say you and somebody else were together and then that relationship didn't work out, that set of boundaries that you two had may not work for the next relationship that you're in. You have to figure out what works for each partner.
Who is this guy? He's like a
He's
guru.
not lying, though.
No.
I'm just like listening to him going, I am really dumb.
You are not.
I am like dumber than a rock. He's like so intelligent and intellectual, and I'm like going, yep, nope, that's her old boyfriend. Yeah, watch me walk by him. I'm gonna flex and do all this other stuff. And Ricky's talking about, no, you know what? It would be really nice just to walk by, shake his hand, and say hello.
Ricky's really talking about emotional intelligence, John.
I don't even know what that is.
It makes me unsettled. It's personally not something I would like in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I could see how other people's would like it, or
No, I get that.
be fine, and it's just not me.
I think like when I was younger, I was always, I would get jealous.
Yeah.
I think guys in their teens and early 20s was always like that,
Right.
And then as you got older, you get to the point where it's like, you know what? Hey, if that's what you want to do, do it. That's
right.
I'm past that.
Yeah.
It's a growth spurt kind of thing where it's just like, because when you get jealous like that, it doesn't do anything, but it just messes you up inside. And it's just like, God, I don't like being like this, and then you realize, hey, look, this is my girlfriend, but if this is what she wants to do, or
Right.
this is my wife and this is what she wants to do, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
And this isn't right for me.
Right.
And rather than try to like, hey, I'm going to fight this guy, or I'm going to argue with this guy, or we're going to get in this big argument because, he's flirting with my wife or my girlfriend. And she's like, come on.
Right.
We got to get past that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, that's exactly right. That's the boundaries that are right for you. And that's kind of what that means is before it flusters and it blows up and that kind of thing, you just say, you know what? If that's what you want to do, that's okay. No hard feelings, but this isn't for me.
Yeah.
That is a sign that this is not for me. Because if you try to force that compatibility, that's when you get into trouble.
And then they come back and say, I'm sorry, take me back.
Well, you know my terms. And it's not an ultimatum. It's just that's not what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw another one out there.
All right,
this
go.
goes back to Ricky saying someone really wanted to be heard in a conversation and they kind of weave their way in. How about when people hear you, but they don't listen because they're so concentrated on what their next comeback's going to be? They know you're talking, but they're not listening to your words just because they want to get their next points in.
Yeah.
Is this directed at me?
But just that active listening, you know.
This is not Festivus, John.
People taking the time to really hear you instead of just wanting to jump in with their next point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
Really, that's not collaborative. I've, come to think of it, I had a conversation like that a few months ago.
At work?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so.
We actually work in a great place, people. So.
Yes,
It's the
yes. Yeah, these are very minor. These are very minor things. But yes, it happened, and I remember just going, "Wow, this is a one-way street here," and that's okay. I mean, that's fine.
And yes, their needs and their wants are important, but there might be other reasons why they can't get it at that point in time or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not even open to hearing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like, what's the point of having this conversation then? Yeah. Almost as though, okay, why don't you just tell me everything you had to tell me, and then let's go on, because you don't have any care to hear what I have to say.
Or what about if someone's like, you're talking to them and they're just totally in their phone or something while you're talking to them? Does that ever happen to you guys?
I've got friends that are like that. You're sitting there talking, and literally, you could be at a dinner and they're on their phone, and it's like, dude, put the phone away.
Yeah.
Or it's like, hey, put the phone away. It's like, you're amongst friends. Whatever you're doing. I mean, if I look at it, if it's that important, get up and step away from the conversation.
Right.
Get up and leave the dinner table, leave the restaurant, whatever you want to do, step aside. But when you're constantly on your phone, or it's like, you said you're talking to someone and they're like, and they're, they're looking at Instagram or TikTok or whatever they want to do. It's like, it goes back to, like you said, you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, but when you stop, you want everyone to stop and listen to what, that's a great pet peeve, because that thing drives me nuts.
It does. It drives me bananas when people do that. You don't have their full attention. You feel like you're not a priority.
Exactly.
Deprioritized.
And you get the Hey, I want to talk to you about something. Yeah, And it's like they can say and it's like nobody even asked you a question. But
Right.
It's like you're so into your phone. It's like you're not even paying attention to what anybody else is saying.
I try to make a habit of, if I'm in the middle of like typing a text to somebody.
Give me a second and I'll be right with you.
When somebody walks in, or even sending an email, I know I'm not going to be able to give that person my full attention. And exactly. I'll say, can you give me just a second? And I'll finish my thought, because it's like a mental itch you have to scratch, right? Mm-hmm. And then you send that thing out, and it's like, that's done. That's off the plate. You have my undivided attention.
What about the not returning texts or calls?
What's the timeline on that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, should there be a timeline? Because that's where I kind of get like my pet peeves. Like, if some of the friends I'll text, I know they've got their phone with them 24/7. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, and I'm not, what's normal? What's the time frame for a text? I mean,
especially if they have their red receipts turned on.
Yeah. I would think.
An hour, 2 hours.
I think if you understand the situation, I think we all work in the same place, right? So if I send a text out and I don't get a response back for 3 or 4 hours, I assume all of us are busy doing whatever it is that we're doing, and it's not a problem. And here with the beginning of school starting and everything, I've told people I'm extremely busy. I will be working, sometimes until 8 or 9 o'clock, that's just the way it is. I have very little time right now. So it may be till the end of the day before I get back to some people, because I'm so focused on other projects.
Right.
It's not that they're any less, but I have already communicated that, because this is just a very busy period in my life, that's you can't expect the same kind of a response time. But I think communication's key.
Right.
And every relationship thrives off of communication, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. So
to me, a text isn't something that I've got to get back to right away.
That's kind of
if
the
it was
point.
extremely important, that person would have picked up the phone, or they would have come up and seen me or something like that.
Maybe in 1990.
24 hours would be okay.
You're past 24.
Yeah.
I've texted you and you like call me like on a Monday. I get it like a Thursday. Hey, sounds good.
It's
what
Saturday,
sounds
sure.
good? I already deleted it. I don't know even what I said anymore. You're horrible at answering texts.
I always try within 24 hours to get back to everything.
So what do you think from a friend standpoint though? Like if it's a friend standpoint, how long should you? What's the response time? Actually, let's do this.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, again, what you think the proper response time for a text from a friend? If you send out a text to a friend, what's the proper response time? And send it to where, Ricky?
oldandbitterpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. We'd love to hear your answers. Scotty, you got another one?
Another one. How about those? You get any kind of service done, right? You go to the dentist, you go to the doctor, you take your car in for whatever, and they send you something and want you to leave a review. I don't think I've left a review before online. Do you guys leave reviews?
Not unless it's a negative one, typically.
And that's the point. Like, why, literal type reviews people leave, but
Yeah.
I don't take much stock in a ton of reviews. I mean,
They
the last
will.
person we used at our house to do a house tour is one that John and Ann recommended.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I looked it up and I found a review somewhere.
Yeah.
And if I don't answer that first one, 2 days later, hey, again, make sure you saw this. Go ahead and leave us a review. 2 days later, leave us a review. And I know it's probably just set up on some type of algorithm, automatic, email blast or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
But if I don't answer the first time, stop bugging me. I told my dentist, I'm not going to leave you a review.
I only do the ones where
Yeah.
it says like, give us a review and you have a chance to win a car or $10,000. Then I'll fill
What's
it out.
in it for me?
Yeah. But then like, I've never won. So it's like,
I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. I just don't put a lot out there, I guess.
I don't like it when you're going through the checkout line and you want to get your receipt. I don't know if y'all have gone to Walmart or anything here lately. You go to Walmart, you scan out your groceries and everything. And then it asks you, like, do you want to print a receipt? Do you want to text a receipt? Do you want to email a receipt? But before it
Both?
does that, it's like, do you want to leave a review? I'm like, no, I just want my receipt and I want to walk out of the freaking store.
It says that now. Do you want to leave a review?
Yeah, it does.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, yeah, it's on there. If you go to the self-checkout, which also might be another pet peeve for
Yes.
some.
I was wondering if someone was going to take it there.
You leave a review that the checker at the
myself out
self-checkout was horrible.
Hey,
Wait, that was me.
I check myself out every day. What are you talking about?
That's pretty funny.
You got another one, Ricky?
Yes, I do. So the other day, I use mobile apps to put in my food order at a bunch of places ahead of time. So before I walk out the door to go to wherever it is I go and get into the drive-through line or walk in, whichever one it is, I'll go ahead and load up whatever app it is and put in my food order and have it ready so that by the time I get to the restaurant, I pick up my food and I leave. Because I don't like sitting there over the speaker and, what'd you say? You wanted a what? Oh, and then having to repeat the order back and forth and they can't hear you anyway, it's a pain in the butt. So I just do it on the app because people can read. The automated system puts it in there and they make your order. So I went to Arkansas the other day and I was downloading the Sonic app because that's like the number one restaurant there in town. They don't have anything other than Sonic and like McDonald's in this one horse town. And
There's only one horse in that town?
there's only one. Actually, there's lots of horses. There's probably more horses than there are cars.
Nice.
But they wanted you to download the app and then you open it up and then it needed to be updated. So you update the app and then you needed to log in. But in order to log in, they had to send you a verification code to your email. So then you had to grab the verification code, put it in the app, and then they wanted to send a text message to your phone to verify that. So then you grab the text message and you put that back in. And then they needed you to reset your password because it's been too long since you've logged in the app. So then you have to go reset the password. Then you have to log back in, and then you have to accept all of these different permissions.
Why don't you just go through the drive-through?
Well, not most apps are like that, but it's getting worse. And it's not just with the Sonic app. It's with, there was a TV thing I was hooking up for somebody I help out with tech support. We were setting this thing up. It needed to be updated. Well, then the update needed to be updated. And then once it got logged in, it needed you to sign in. It needed you to accept all these different things. What happened to just being able to buy something, plugging it in, and using it? And the same goes with apps. Yes, I understand you need a username and password. And yes, I understand you probably need to verify things. But I shouldn't have to jump through 10,000 hoops to get to the other end of it.
And now it seems like lots of them are going to like two-stage authentication.
They are.
All those things.
You know, something that I use at work now on a daily basis has gone to two-factor authentication every single time
that you
I log in. And I want to throw my phone against the wall. I do. It's so bad. The technology needs to get out of the way of the user.
Do you have an OtterBox case?
No, it's
because if you threw it on the wall, it'd be fine.
it's a leather case that I bought from England.
Nice.
It's nice. I like it. It's got some wear on it, but
All right, so I have one I need both you guys' opinions on. And actually, people listening at home, you can give me your opinion on this too. I think it's a great use of space. Mm-hmm. This is one of my wife's biggest pet peeves. So like if I'm doing laundry, right? You know, I'm run the washer, take them out of the washer, I put them in the dryer, run the dryer. But then I leave them in the dryer. Because it's like space.
Thank you. I was just about to. I do the same thing, John.
And she's just like,
I do the same thing.
Honey, this isn't. Take the clothes out. It's not a cupboard. I go, but it's kind of like a dresser.
Okay.
You just leave them in there.
Yep.
And then if I want them, then I just hit like refresh.
But that's not their home.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Scott is no longer with us here. So it'll be the Ricky and John show, and we'll bring in Ivy, our little Frenchie, to come in. But like she gets so mad, she's like, "What did I tell you about leaving the clothes in the dryer?" And I go, "But I just hit refresh, and then I just pull them out and put them on nice and warm."
That's exactly what I do at home. However, John, I'm the one that lives there.
But still,
It's
That's your pet
it's
peeve.
my dryer. It's my dryer. So if I had other people in the house that also use that dryer, and then you have to do a load of towels, well, then whatever is in the dryer has to come out because you got to put the load of towels in.
I just leave them in there, just give them more air. If she ran a load and she's like, "Here, can you put the stuff in the dryer?" I just put it with the stuff that's already dry.
Or sheets, or if you're doing colors versus whites, or whatever else, or if she's trying to do her clothes and then she doesn't want to pull her clothes out amongst yours, so she has to sort through yours in order to get hers out of there.
All right, so here's another one, ladies. Ladies, if you're listening, and this is a pet peeve of yours, your husband leaves his clothes in the dryer, let us know. Where at, Ricky?
Old and Bitter podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
I got another one.
All right, let's hear it.
Door dings. These parking lots, the spaces aren't big enough, parking garages, whatever. And you're so careful getting out of your car, but then you come back and you notice the car next to you, a bit of their paint on the side of your car.
Ooh.
You ever get door dings?
No, I park far away.
Well, and the kids make fun of me because, Dad's parking back here with all his friends again, because I'll go way to the side or I'll go up against a burn or whatever. So there's only, a thing on one side or whatever. But, man, door dings were bad down here, I thought. When we first moved down, it took me a while. I was like, man, these people don't care.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
my thing is I don't like it when people park really close to you, so you can barely open your car door.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I don't know how you guys feel, is, and this drives me nuts, it's chronic lateness.
Oh.
Hey, what time we meeting? We're meeting at 9, and then they show up at 9:35 or 9:40.
I was late today.
No, that's different.
Probably
You had an issue, which was you had to handle. But I'm like, even like my sister, it's like, "Hey, what time we meeting at Mom's? We're gonna eat at 11." She comes rolling in like at 12:30.
Oh my goodness.
And we're like, "Oh, okay, that's my sister." I mean, just in general, like if you say, I'm always like, if you say you're going to be there at 4, be there at 4.
Right.
4:05 still, 4:10 that's still. But when it's like 4:30 or 4:45 or whatever, I mean, it's just like, even like, if I have to go somewhere, I always make sure that I'm early.
Yes.
If you're not early,
10,
you're late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
10,
Right.
15 minutes early, 20 minutes early. I remember when I was shooting this one commercial, the guy goes, "Man, you're early." I go, "I'd rather be early than late."
You bet.
He's like, "You're like an hour early." I said, "Well, I came from, Dallas. I want to make sure I knew where it was." And I just want to get here early.
Yeah.
And but the lateness, it's just like, because you're always just, it just throws everybody for a loop. It's just you're waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it's just like, let's just go. And right when you're ready to leave, here they come. Oh, sorry, I'm late. You don't know what happened. Yeah, my cat was attacking a squirrel, and we had to fight it off, and then a cow ran across our neighborhood, and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, come on, enough's enough.
You mentioned your sister. I know some people that they would tell most of the family 7, but they'd tell a certain family member they're meeting at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then everybody's there at 7.
Yeah. They know how to work the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
How about this? And we do have a motorcycle enthusiast in our midst here with Ricky.
What?
But a couple things on the road, all right? First of all, the people that are putting other people in danger with street racing. You can see them fly down the side road. And you can tell, 2 kids racing each other or whatever. That's one thing.
And that could be anything, motorcycles or cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anything like that. So that happens more than I think it should. Obviously.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then, well, what about these motorcycles that you're on a 3-lane road and they make a 4th lane or just kind of go in between you and stuff? So does that bug you, John?
No, because I've had motorcycles before, and I love them. I would never do that because I was always worried, like,
I'm more worried about the cop and the ticket than I am what I'm actually doing.
It's just, but I understand what you're saying. There's been times where it's just like, they just.
You see him coming up and you're like, man, they're going to get close to me. I hope I don't swerve into them. And
Yeah.
It's just.
Now, are you moving when you're doing this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Moving.
I don't like that. No, I will say.
And sometimes moving at a pretty decent clip.
Yeah. Well, in California, that's legal.
Oh, wow.
When we went to California in 2019, and that's what they call lane splitting, and it's legal. And so that what they say, the state law is basically when you see a motorcycle, you're supposed to be able to get over so that they can come through, and that allows more traffic on that road. Which, I guess when you're in such a populated area, and if everyone's of the know, and that's the thing, well, then that's fine because everyone has that practice built in. Mm-hmm. But when you're in a place like Texas or some other states where that could be a pet peeve and people decide to get some road rage and to swerve out in the middle of the, the lane so the motorcycle can't come through, well, then now you're doing is causing conflict, which is not great when you're on something like a motorcycle. I think when you're at a standstill, you're at a light, and I see a motorcycle just kind of creep up to the beginning of the stoplight, I think that's a little more permissible. Nobody's moving. Nobody's going to be swerving in or out of the lanes because you can't. Everyone's blocked, right? So I think that's okay. I don't do it because it's illegal, but I think it's more permissible.
How about the one, and you and I can relate to this one, Scott. When you have a doctor's appointment at 4 and you get there at 3:45 and they bring you back at 4, but then the doctor doesn't come to see you till 5:15 and you're sitting in that room freezing or taking a nap or playing on your phone, and it's just like, and then I get home like at 6:30, my wife's like, where have you been? I said, I was at the doctor.
Yeah.
You ever get up and like stretch and walk around the room and explore what all he's got in that little room where you're sitting there all by yourself for that hour?
I've opened the drawers before and so like those ear cup things and the little nose thing where you look up in your nose and stuff like that. Put that in my pocket and take it off or take off and no, but that's one of my things. It's just like, come on, my appointment's at 4.
I was gonna say,
and you're coming in at 5:30. Those are the stuff. That stuff is tough. Now, I will say, my dentist, if your appointment's at 4, he's taking you at 3:58. Dr. Mont, shout out Dr. Mont, Lone Star Dental, best dentist in the state of Texas. Woohoo!
All right. I'm going to kind of flip this a little bit, John.
Let's flip it.
What about anything about yourself that annoys you?
I'm pretty perfect, so I'm going to have to say no.
Wow.
No. Ricky, we'll let you start.
Sure. I overthink way too much.
Overthink? Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of the deal. And I know that. I'm very aware of that.
Like overthink in a bad way or just in general?
Just, probably even a bad way. don't want to, I want to approach the situation with as much understanding as I possibly can. And sometimes that just leads to trying to find every single angle, and overthinking something so that I make sure I have all the information possible. And I don't want to disrespect somebody that that's on the other end of whatever situation. And so, I have tendencies to overthink a lot of things. Yeah. It's just the way that I've always been, a little neurotic, I suppose, to that regard. And I try to get a little better with that because, nobody needs that. That's not healthy in general. So I try not to think so much about things all the time, but it comes built in the firmware here. So not a whole lot you can do. Just accept it. Acceptance is the number one key to really just taking we have imperfections. These are what they are. And so when I realize them, well, then accepting that that's how it goes and moving forward.
I guess mine would be any of these kind of situations we've talked about tonight, realizing that, okay, something might be going on with that person at this point in time. And maybe I should just take a step back and be a little more patient right now.
What's going on with the lady at the pharmacist for 15 minutes when there's people behind us? Lady, look, okay, there's people behind us. I got to go. I don't care about the lady.
I'm sorry.
Esther, you got to move on. Take your medicine and move on. Take your medicine and move on, Esther. It's time to go. All right, this one actually happened at work, so I want to kind of get your take on this one. What about people who clip their nails in public?
Oh, yeah,
no, my nail clippers are in my medicine cabinet. That's not a public kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's I'm bad about biting my nails off, to be honest, and that's a bad habit, but. Nope.
But this wasn't even nails. This was the toenails.
Oh,
definitely no.
Oh, then that's completely fine, John. As long as his toenails were good.
No, because the thing flew up and like hit me somewhere, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
You had to go to the eye doctor. You're in the eye.
You're clipping your toenails at work in front of people? That was wrong. That was wrong. Ricky should have never done that. I don't know why he did that.
Sorry, guys.
All right, so Ricky, throw us. Yeah,
true story. My grandpa had such thick toenails that as a kid, I would often, in the middle of the night, I'd go to the kitchen for a late night snack or whatever, and I'd hear him out there in the garage, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
He's got a Dremel hooked up or something.
He's using the dadgum bench grinder to sand his toenails off. That's not exaggeration.
Why is it that every old guy? Okay, I'm gonna piggyback on your grandpa.
Okay.
I love my dad. Dad, if you're listening, I love you to death. But my dad's toes look like pork rinds.
Yep.
They're just like all bent and different. And he's like, I need to go to a pedicure. I go, Dad, they would close the salon down.
Have you ever taken him?
People, no, he's gone once, and he came back. He said, "Oh, it was so good." And I guarantee you that lady probably went through a Dremel, a chainsaw, an ice pick, all these other things. I mean, I've never seen toenails turn like almost like linguine pasta, where it just keeps turning and turning. And then you go over to the house, and he's like just barefoot, and he's like sitting next to you, and I'm like, Dad, put a pair of socks on. That's a pet peeve right there. Them things could cut wood.
They probably do, man.
Good Lord. But I love my dad to death. Love him to death. Scotty, you got one more before we close out?
I think I hit a lot of mine.
Ricky?
So I used to work with somebody in the same office. This is previous place of employment.
Okay, because I don't work with you in the same office.
Yeah, no. This is previous place of employment, so not where I'm at now. And of course, what I do requires a lot of sometimes concentration, trying to come up with scripts and trying to test things and that kind of thing. So it requires a lot of focus, I suppose. This guy would blast his 80s music as loud as he possibly could all day long, iHeartRadio. So finally I got to just like putting in headphones to just kind of listen to my own thing or noise cancellation or something else. But I think not being really aware of your own space or not
And this is a shared space.
This is a shared space. This would be like from me to John over there.
Yeah.
Really.
For those of you at home, that's about 6 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of a difficult environment to work in with that regard to sometimes. So I'd leave and go to a different place, take my laptop with me and do what I needed to do. So it's fine. I found ways around it, but I mean, read the room maybe a little bit.
All right, so I want to leave everybody with this one, and I think we can all agree on this one, especially just from how we are, is not saying please or thank you. That's a huge pet peeve for me.
Yeah.
You give someone something, or you hand them something, or somebody gives you, and you say thank you, you say please, whatever, and it's it's not gimme, or it's just like, hey, you're welcome. You hold the door open, people just walk past you, and it's just like, hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
There's no thank you, there's no please. That's probably one of my really biggest ones on a serious note.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
And those are skills that through modeling up a school and all, we can teach the kids.
Absolutely.
But they do, if they're not in that environment, you do have to go through like etiquette things and teach them and show them and model it. So there's hope, I think. But just not even realizing it, or you and I are talking right here and there's 2 feet between us and someone walks right in between us. Just awareness, just that basic etiquette things.
Yeah. So I'd have a question, because I've had that happen to me a few times. Not the.
And I guess if you started to cut you off, but like please, thank you, and excuse me. Those 3.
So if you're standing outside, like you need to get into some place to do a job. I mean, you had been asked to do a job, and that person's standing in the doorway talking to somebody else, and they just continue carrying on their conversation. But you don't want to walk in, because that's what I've been taught is whatever. You don't walk between 2 people as they're having a conversation. It's rude. It's not proper, whatever else. But if you sat there and you waited for 4 or 5 minutes for them to finish their conversation,
This person can see you?
both of them can. It'd be like you and John talking here, and I need to get to John's closet over there, but John is in the doorway of the closet talking to you, who's right outside. And I need to walk in the back of the closet to get to whatever it is I need to.
Yeah.
And they just keep carrying on. So finally, time runs out, and because I've got jobs to do. So I'm like, I'm so sorry, excuse me. And I walk through. But I mean, I feel like you give it enough space, but I'm sure that could have been seen as rude.
No, I mean, like you being rude.
Yeah.
I said one thing, because first of all, you said excuse me, sorry, and you apologize for having to step through.
Yeah.
I mean, you're communicating to them, hey, look, I need to get through there. Or even if you go, hey, sorry guys, I just need to get past. I need to get in that closet.
But also, Ricky, you were raised where you knew that that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we miss out on that a lot here. We take people for granted.
Yep.
Or you get the people that they stand there and they just wait. They don't want to say anything. It's like they're waiting. Like, can I help you? Oh, I'm just waiting to, well, just say something and I'd be happy to step aside.
Absolutely.
And it all goes back to the ones, we've talked about before. It's the communication aspect of it.
Right.
So, all right, folks. So this has been episode number 5 on Old and Bitter. Our pet peeves may not be your pet peeves. We all got pet peeves. We hope you enjoyed listening. We'll see you next time. So for Ricky and Scott, I'm John saying so long, everybody.